Find the expression for center of gravity. So already we got, it is the center of gravity of a regular shaped object. So like that, any regular shaped object, you will able to find out the center of gravity. Okay, so we already came to know the center of gravity of the circular. Similarly, where is the center of gravity of a triangle? How can you find out the center of gravity of a triangle? Where should be the geometrical center? So usually, not to find out center of gravity of a triangle, what we have to do means you can draw the median from all the vertices, draw the median, and where this median intersect, that is the point of center of gravity of a triangle. Okay, so center of gravity of triangle will be, if you draw all the medians from all the vertices of a triangle, it meets at a point, common point, that will be the center of gravity. Similarly, center of mass also should be concentrated in that particular region. That is for a triangle. Similarly, center of gravity of a cylinder. Center of gravity of the cylinder also will be at the center of the sphere. Center of gravity of the cylinder also at the center of the cylinder. If you draw from here, you draw the line where the center of the circular shape and curved shape is meeting. There is the center of gravity. Now, center of gravity of a cone. In the case of center of gravity of a cone, it will not be on the top, it will be towards the bottom region. Why? Because you can see bottom region is the mass is spread. The particles are spread in the thing. So the stability of the material will be at the bottom level of the cone. So cone also geometric center is the towards the open part of it, a cone. Here, if you have center of gravity here, what happened? It will not balance. There's a chances for it to fall down. So this is cone, it is something different you have. Similarly, center of gravity of a ring. This is the only case where center of gravity is lying outside. Ring. Ring is only places where center of gravity is lying outside. CG is lying, yes?
Ma'am, Sharon is in waiting room.
I admitted. She will be joining.
Okay.
So in the case of ring is the only cases where center of gravity lying outside. Other all geometrical figure, it will be at the geometric center. It depends upon the shape and size of the object. Okay, so that's about the uniformly regular shape center of gravity lie at the geometric center. Shall we now go to the expression of center of gravity? Ask something, that's what. Okay. I purposefully switch off video and audio. Okay. Yes. Okay, students. Shall we continue? So let us now go to the expression of center of gravity. Center of gravity means instead of mass, what we will have? Weight, W1, W2. So we can have consider the weight of the two particles. Consider weight of the two particles. Consider the weight of two particles, W1 and W2 placed at position vectors R1 and R2. R1 and R2. Then center of gravity of the system, that is RCG. There it was CM, but we have here CG. RCG is equal to sorry, W1 R1 plus W2 R2 divided by W1 plus W2. W1 R1 plus W2 R2 divided by W1 plus W2.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, RCG.
RCG is center of gravity.
Okay.
Yes? Did you complete, children? So that's all. So if it is n particles, for n particle system, so write down. For n particles of system, you can write a small n particles of system, then RCG is equal to W1 R1 plus W2 R2 plus etc. plus WN RN divided by W1 plus W2 plus etc. plus WN. That's for n particles of a system. Okay. Now next step, what we are going to study. Yeah.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay. You want to, yeah.
Ma'am, completed.
Okay, children. Now we are moving to next session. Is that suppose if you consider the axis for a two coordinate system, the particle is lying in a particular system at x coordinate and y coordinate like that. How can you make the changes of a center of mass? Okay, so here so far we are only writing m1 r1 m2 r2. For example, if that position vector of that particular particle is x coordinate and y coordinate, and how can we represent the center of mass in that case? So that is what the next session we are moving on to. So next heading you can write center of mass of two particles in a coordinate system. Okay, we can just represent how they are lying. Just imagine it is representing in a graphical method. Y is here and x-axis here. And just we have two particles. So first particle has mass m1 and from the center it is at x1. Similarly, another particle m2 and from the center of the coordinate system, that is center of the mass system, it is x2, the distance. If you can write it, this is as center as O. We can just represent m1 as A and m2 as B. So two particles in this particular system is lying in the same line, but different distances. So now can write it. Let the distances of two particles. Let the distances of two particles. Let the distances of two particles be x1 and x2 with masses m1 and m2 respectively. m1 and m2 respectively. Then on x-axis, center of mass of the system, center of mass is equal to mass x.
Ma'am,
Yes?
can you show that diagram again?
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So next line. On x-axis, center of mass in terms of x. We can write m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2, and on y-axis in terms of y, center of mass, you can write cm at this point. Cm is equal to m1 y1 plus m2 y2 divided by m1 plus m2. Now, next one. Suppose m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m. Suppose m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m. Then center of mass on x is equal to m1, m2, 0. So means same. So you can write it out. Take it out. m1 is equal to m2. mm. Take it out. m x1 by x2 is equal to 2m. Naturally, what happened? This one will get cancelled. So finally, you are getting x1 plus x2 by 2. Similarly, Cm on y, m into y1 plus y2 by 2m, mm got cancelled. So it is going to be nearly a mean of the distances. It is actually equal to the mean of the distances of the particles. So that is actually is equal to mean distance of the particles. So this is how we can prove that in every system, the Cm or you take it Cg, everything will be midway. Mean distance of the particles. Then below that you can write thus for two particles of equal mass, in a system, center of mass lies exactly midway between them. So once you understand this, any number of the particles, you can write the center of mass. If the mass is same, you can write it the same equation. If it is 3 particles, y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3, x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3. Suppose 5 particles, x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus xy by 5, or y1 plus y2 plus y3 plus y4 plus y5 by 5. So like that, n particles, you can just write it, that number. Okay. So we can summarize this. Therefore, mathematically, every theory in the physics with the help of mathematics. So mathematically, x is equal to sigma mi xi divided by sigma mi, or sigma mi xi is equal to, instead of mi, you can just write total mass m, and y is equal to sigma mi yi, that is sigma mi again, or we can write it sigma mi yi by capital M. Suppose the z coordinate, again it will come sigma mi zi by capital M. Okay. Can I change it, children? Shall we do one problem based on this center of mass system? Okay. Shall I change? So one problem for on the basis of find the center of mass of 3 particles Center of mass of 3 particles at the vertices of an equilateral triangle The masses of particles are 100 gram, 150 gram, and 200 gram respectively. Each side, equilateral triangle means each side is same. So each side of equilateral triangle is 0.5 meter long. First draw the figure. Since it's a coordinate system, you have to find out in y-axis what is the center of mass, in x-axis what is the center of mass. So we have to find out two coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate also for center of mass. X here, y here. So an equilateral triangle. So first one starting from origin. So that is 100 gram, and at origin its the coordinates is going to be 0, 0, you know. So I can just give A, B, C. And at B, we have in the picture, it is given 150 gram and coordinates are given 0.50. Because it's same distance, no? Now here it is, equilateral triangle is going to be 200 gram, 200 gram. And children, actually in the figure, we have not got the answers for answers. The coordinates are not there. So usually, you know, equilateral triangle, how do we know? Center of mass is going to be at the midway, correct? So if you take a right angle triangle and you will able to get at that point what is the vertices. So it is given as, here it is going to be half of the 0.5. So it is the coordinate is going to be 0.250. So if you draw a perpendicular from the vertices, you will get this point. So center of mass supposed to be at the center. So draw a perpendicular from the third vertex to equilateral triangle and you will get it. Here also 0.5, here also 0.5 because equal side. And here also 0.5. So gradually this point is going to be what? Here it is going to be half of the 0.5. So at this point it is 0.250. Okay. And if you solve this, I'm going to, you solve this because you already know the max, no? So when you solve it, you will get at point it is given 0.2525 root 3. There's a one rule, no, equilateral triangle, 1/3 or some side. So it is, you can use a Pythagoras theorem also, no problem. This is 90 degree. So gradually, this point, if you want to get, there's a theorem, I think, in the case of a right-hand triangle. So this is given. So that is why 0.2525 root 3. Now our question is not finding this. We have to now find out the center of mass for x coordinate and y coordinate. So I hope you have completed the diagram. Shall we change? Or you
Yes, ma'am.
okay. So now what is the first step? Center of mass at x. You have m1 x1 plus how many how many points? 2 points, 3 points. So you can write m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. So x1 will be the x coordinate of all the 3 points. Okay. Mass is given to you. So we can write it in order. If you look at the picture, x coordinate, first x coordinate is 0. Then second is 150, that also 0 because it is on the x-axis. And the third one we got according to the question, it is 200 into 0.25 divided by total mass. That 100 plus 150 plus 200. So 2 terms. Sorry, here x coordinate, no, x coordinate of third point is 0.5, not 0, 0.5. Y coordinate is 0. X coordinate is 0.5. If you look at the picture, let me see the picture. Here it is written 0.5. 0 is the y coordinate. So you just make a change there. So this term is go to 0 and this is the total one. So you will get it. Can you do it, children? Fast. Simple one, no? 150 into 0.5 means 15 into 5 you do. Then add the 0, take the decimal. 150 into 0.5 means 15 into 5 you do. That's going to be very easy for you. You will get 75, then add 0, then take the decimal, all that. 25 into 2, you know, it's going to be how much? Don't take the decimal and all, just write it as a fraction. That's enough. You don't have to take it, make it the smallest fraction and then write the answer just like that. Because we don't want to convert that into decimal now. Just write it. What did you get?
Answer
75 plus 50. Sound is very less, Achyut. 75 plus 50.
by 550.
550, 200 and plus 100, 300. 300 plus
No, ma'am, 450.
450. 450. Okay. First, it is divisible by 15. What is the smallest fraction you got it? 120 by 450. Anyone can do, not only Achyut. Anyone who come, Atul and all must have completed. You can give me the answer. 120 by 450. What is the fraction? Smallest fraction we got it after cutting. Anyone can tell me the answer, no problem. So many are there? Video is off, majority. Did you get 5 by something? Yes. Since the time is less, I am writing 5 by 18. Let it be like that. Okay. Shall we now go to the, can I change the slide? We are going to find out now y coordinate. Sharon, finish now? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I am going to change the slide. Now, center of mass at y. Our equation is m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3. That is given as m1 plus m2 plus m3. Now you have to write the y coordinate. First one, mass is 100. 100 into 0 plus 150, that is 0 because y coordinate is 0. Then plus m3 y3. M3 y3, it is in root. Let it be in the root. You only multiply with the 25 into 200. Rest you put it in the root 3 only, divided by 450. I'm not substituting, I'm just, you know what it is. Now you can get the smallest fraction. Let the root 3 will be there. Root 3 will be there. You just do this part, remaining part. You will get root 3 by 9. Root 3 by 9, you can change little more different. 9 means 3 into 3, correct? Then root 3 by, take 1, 3. 1, 3 in terms of root 3 into root 3. So this root 3 get cancelled and you are getting equation, finally you are getting equation 1 by 3 root 3. 1 by 3 into root 3. Whatever, when you get whatever you can cancel, you cancel out. So I hope you understood what I did. I split the 9, 3 into 3. Then 1, 3, you know. 1, 3, you will get it. Square root of 3 into 3. Factorize when you do, you take 1, 3. So that is why root 3 into root 3. So top root 3 and down root 3 got cancelled. Finally, you are getting 1 by 3 root 3. Thus, finally, center of mass system you will get at 5 by 18 and at 1 by 3 root 3 point. 5 by 18 is the x coordinate. 1 by 3 by root 3 is the y coordinate. Okay. So I hope you completed, all of you. How much? 5 more minutes. So we just write about the, so far we have completed center of mass, center of gravity of a system. So next quantity, what you are talking about, what will be the motion of a system? Is it every time it is a straight line motion or rotational motion? So next term, what we are learning is motion of a system. Motion of a rigid system. So motion of a rigid system can be two types. The first one is pure translational. Pure translational motion. Second one, we have rolling motion. Rolling motion. And rolling motion, and third type is rotational motion. So in major part of this chapter, you are studying about rotational motion of the rigid system. So this is the three types of motion of a rigid body: pure translational motion, rolling motion, rotational motion. Okay, pure translation means it is a straight line motion, just like a system. From the system, a particle is moving. A particle is moving in a straight line. Then we can call it as a pure translational motion. Clear? Similarly, suppose an inclined plane is here, and if you have a cylinder is rolling down from here. So if this cylinder is rolling, you know that it also moving in a translational motion. At the same time, it also have a rolling motion, because it is rolling and coming in a translation direction. So this one has both translational and both rolling. Translation in the sense it is moving in this direction. Rolling in this side, the object itself is rolling. Okay. So that is the translation motion. So you can write, if you have an example for translation motion, a car is moving on a straight road. A car is moving on a straight road is an example of translational motion. Rolling motion, you can say a ball is rolling on the ground. A football is rolling on the ground. A ball is rolling on the ground. Okay, a pebble is rolling on the ground, like that. Rotational motion, we have example that is more in our daily life. One is rotation of fan. Rotation of fan, ceiling fan we have. Then, potter's wheel. Anything which exhibit potter's wheel. Potter's wheel means those are making the pots now, mud pots. You see, they must be rotating it in order to make a shape. So that is rotation of a fan, potter's wheel, and also the electric motor. Electric motor also rotate about its own axis. So these are some example of a rotational motion. So detail we will study in the next class. Okay. So I am winding up the session, children. Thank you.